And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Tattletale, something no one likes to be called, and everyone hates these people. And it comes in this little box, which is entirely too big for the game inside, and for the rules that are crumbled up inside, so therefore it gets crushed, which is a shame. But perhaps the game inside is good. Let's take a look. In this game, each person is assigned a role. You're either going to be class president, jock, teacher's pet, bully, or BFF. And these are secret roles. No one knows what each person is. Each person's also going to get a glory track to keep track of how much glory you have. You have a track over here to see how much horseplay and homework there is. There's also a teacher track to show how irritated the teacher is at this point in time. One person goes first, and that person's going to pick a partner. And they can pick anyone they want, and they're going to give that person a roughhouse and a study card, and they're going to keep a roughhouse and a study card. Then the first person clockwise to them who they haven't picked gets these 3 opposition cards. So both players are going to talk and have a discussion about which card they're going to play, and you can theme it up, let's all go to this, let's all go to the window and look at it or whatever, okay? And then they're both going to play either a study or a roughhouse card while the opposition is going to play one of his 3 cards. Outclass, treachery, or mwahaha. All right, so if both players play study cards, they're both going to get 3 glory. Great. Okay, and that makes homework go up by 2. If they both play roughhouse cards, they both get 2 glory, and the horseplay goes up by 1. All right, what have you. If one person plays roughhouse and the other person plays study, then the person with study gets nothing, and the person with roughhouse gets 4 glory. So you're going to get 4, 3, or 2. However, the person with opposition is trying to mess them up. So here, if he plays outclass and they both played roughhouse, he negates everything and this guy gets 2 glory. Here, if they play roughhouse and study, one person plays each, they both get nothing and he gets 1. And here, if they both play study, then no one gets anything and he gets 1. So this will continue turn and turn. However, if the horseplay or roughhouse is ever 2 more than the other one, then the teacher gets really irritated. She also gets irritated if someone gets up to level 12 glory because that person becomes a tattletale. When she's irritated, all the players are going to have this big long discussion, or however short you want it to be, and then they'll all point fingers. You have 2 fingers and you can point them at anyone you want. And each person you're pointing a finger at loses 1 glory. And this will happen twice. After the second time it's happened, then the game is over. When the game is over, if anyone is a BFF, they reveal themselves, pick one other person. They're going to get the same amount of bonus points that person gets. Then whoever's the bully, they're going to guess which student each person has. For each person they're right, they're going to get, they get 4 glory. And for each student they guess right at the end of the game, that person loses 2 glory. The jock gets 1 glory for every horseplay that's on the track. The class president gets 6 glory, but minus the distance between horseplay and study. So he wants them to have as little distance between them as possible. And the teacher's pet gets 1 point for each homework. Whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Now, the concept of this game is an interesting concept in a game. I saw it once on a game show called Take It All. I read about it in a book a long time ago by Piers Anthony, Golem in the Works, or whatever it was called. It was a great story. But in instance, if we both say, let's work together, we get stuff, but we get less of it. If one of us tries to mess with the other, I play roughhouse, and you play study, then I get more points than you, haha. And that's an interesting dynamic. However, then there's a third person in the mix, and they're trying to guess what we're both going to do. That in itself is an interesting concept, and I don't mind that in the game. And the secret roles in the game, I don't mind them that much either, even if the game does really devolve into just random guessing. It's the end of the game, or that teacher part, where everyone points fingers at each other and they lose glory. Again, this is one of those moments where I feel like smacking myself in the head and saying, did anyone think that was a good idea, that we could just randomly point at people and make them lose points? What? That coupled with really bad production values. I mean, this game looks like a print and play game almost. The artwork is okay if you think gigantic eyes is cool. But there's just so little thing in here. It's supposed to be this fun little game, but the production value is going to turn you off first of all. Then secondly, this kind of random, and then the pointing of the fingers, that seals the deal. I like the different things. I like the three-way outguess each other. And I also like the secret roles. This guy's pushing for studying, this pushing for roughhousing. And even though all that stuff is interesting, I think it could have been worked on. I think they really should have thrown the game out, taken that concept and worked on another game around it. The tattletale and theming isn't bad, but it doesn't really make sense in this regard where everyone's pointing fingers and a teacher blames someone. I mean, you could literally make somebody lose by everyone pointing at them. That's just such a weird concept to me. And some of the secret roles are easier than others. They're not very well balanced. One gets 4 glory. And they can pick other people. If they guess who they are, you lose 2 points. What? That's way more powerful than someone else. So, I don't know. This is a major pass for me. Not interested in this one at all. I like the idea of it, but the concept and the execution, flawed.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.